Today is January 7th, 2023, New Year. Been doing a little more work in here. As you can see here, I've got this this settee built up a little more. You can kind of get an idea what that's going to be like in here. And you know, I really debated on this. I thought about maybe, I really kind of wanted my L shape to the settee here. I thought about putting a, coming out here with it and but it just, yeah, anyway I cut it, it wasn't really going to work that well. Some of the things that I wanted here is I wanted this to be long enough and wide enough to sleep on, so somebody could sleep down here. Probably put a lee cloth in here if you're out to sea or whatever, but yeah, so we'll have that. I was given the reasons for raising this in a couple of videos ago, and I forgot that I never really carried on with that train of thought. But one of the reasons was for storage, which gives you a lot of storage, which this does, of course. But the other reason, and George said this, was so when you're sitting up in the settee, you can actually see out the windows, which is another reason, I think, a good idea there to be able to, when you're sitting there, to see out. And another reason I kind of had to do it was because of these gussets here. These gussets were just plain old going to get in the way of anything much lower than that. I mean, I could have gotten it a little bit lower, but a couple inches all wouldn't have made much difference. It still would have had to have been elevated up off the floor. Yeah, these gussets really suck up a lot of room inside the boat. Now, not such a big deal over here, but you're not going to have much storage area underneath these cabinets either. You got the drawers, and there isn't going to be a whole lot more available under there. As you can see, there's some room there, but and there I got plumbing, and then here it's getting pretty narrow, and it's pretty steep slope there, so you're just not going to be able to get a whole lot in there. That one down there, those two probably will be a little bit bigger, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, these gussets kind of eat into the boat, and there's just no getting around that. I'm not real thrilled with the way this is going. Not that it's the construction of it's a problem, but it's just, I really wanted to have a little bit more comfortable seating down here. And just having a single settee down here isn't gonna, it's not gonna be something you're gonna relax on, or a number of people are gonna relax on for hours on a time, or hours at end. But yeah, it is what it is. I was thinking I might have enough room that I could put a small barrel chair or something in here. I think I will, when the table comes in here, I will probably get a couple of folding counter height chairs. I've got one now that I actually use in my house, or I used to until all my friends died. But I can bring a couple of those in, and to give us a little more seating, and so we're not all just lined up like a row of ducks over here. And one person, yeah, you could kick up, and I'll probably either put a cushion here or a couple of big pillows on here or something so you could lean up against this. I was planning on putting a television up in the corner up there on that wall there. So when you're in here or working in the kitchen or something, if you or sitting here at the settee, you could watch it. But there just really isn't enough room to put much other seating in here. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Of course, part of that problem is, again, refrigerator and freezer, wanting both of these, and then not being able to put anything up against the walls because of the slope and the gussets. If it was just the frames, it wouldn't be so bad. But these gussets, really, I tell you, they really, we didn't put the gussets in back here, probably the most important place to have them. We didn't put the gussets in here because the tanks could fit up against the hull, or the frames at least. And George said that was fine, so I wonder why we had to have them all here. And the fact that I've got these doubled up would probably eliminate the absolute need for them to be there too. I mean, these frames are doubled up 2x6s and they're overlapped. So there's a joint, a lap joint in there, which is going to help make it stronger. But I suppose if a guy cut these out, you know, to follow the frames, they would still help some. But I'm wondering if a guy really maybe shouldn't have had some cut out of steel. Of course, that would have been a pain in the butt, but certainly could have been done, cut out of steel, and then, you know, 1/4-inch plate or something, and then had them hot dip galvanized and then bolted them in. That would have saved a lot of room on the inside, or added a lot of room to the inside, because the way it is, there just isn't much there. Now, on a positive note, we got a lot of room, you know, in there. I mean, that's a lot of storage there now. And there's a fair amount of storage down here, too. And I think what I'll do on this one, on this lower one here, is I think I will just put a continuous hinge, you know, along here, along the whole edge there, and then just be able to lift it up and get at things in there, because this is basically just a footrest. This one up here, yeah, it'd be nice to do that, but there is no place to, you know, I suppose I could just cut it, you know, and then put it on there, but you're going to lose a bunch of your strength then too, or some of it anyway. And I suppose the hinge would introduce a fair amount of strength back to that joint. I just don't know how much that would weaken it though. That's a thought. I guess it would be kind of nice to be able to drop something really long in there if you wanted to. I don't have any other supports going across. I just got the supports around the perimeter. I don't have any supports in here at all, which it doesn't need it the way it is now, because it's quite sturdy the way it is. I mean, it's solid. It's not flexing at all. But anyway, I was thinking about just cutting hatches in here, you know. I was thinking about cutting hatches big enough to handle my... I've got food grade 5-gallon buckets for storage, and I've used those for many years. Keep flour in them, and you can keep pasta in them, and sugar and whatnot. So you can store large amounts of food in a relatively small space. But I've also got some tubs, you know, watertight or airtight tubs that have a gasket seal on them that are square, rectangular. That would be nice to store somewhere too, and this would be a good place for that too. Especially if I had it so just... God, I hate to cut this, and then if it's too weak, you know, I suppose I could always reinforce it again on the bottom with something else. Glue it back together again. Yeah, I'm gonna need to think about that before I cut this up. Just not sure how much strength that hinge would give you back again. You know, so the thing doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So at the moment, I'm kind of debating on what to do next. I need to get the back on here. I think I'll just put a 24-inch back on here and just screw it directly to the frames again, because that angle it looks pretty good for a backrest. Then of course the foam will go on there. And then above that, I don't know what I'll do for sure. If I'll put some ceiling in here, just some small laths running across here, and then open up the windows and maybe put some storage nooks in around those laths, or if I'll just paint above them, or what I'll do yet. And I'm still not sure back here either. I was debating whether I should put a piece in here, close this end up. I was planning on putting a piece of 3/4-inch plywood in here, kind of like what we got here on the side, and then closing that off. But depending on what I do, probably storage cabinets in here. Yeah, may not be necessary. I mean, I suppose a guy could put a, you know, a chart table or something like that in there too, but that's really not necessary on this boat. I got the pilot house that's going to have, you know, a place for computers and charts and all that stuff, and so I don't think we'll need to put something like that down here. Probably storage would be as good as anything. Maybe a hanging locker and a bunch of drawers or bins or something in here for galley stuff. But yeah, so I don't know what to work on next. I guess as soon as I decide what to continue working on next week, I'll pick up some more lumber and get this finished, and I'll probably order some cushions right away too, so we got a place to sit in here. But yeah, maybe I should start working on the island here, getting that enclosed. Not that that's really a priority either right now, but in fact, it's probably better if that's not done, because I still gotta cut hatches in the floors here and stuff, and it's a lot easier to move these around right now. I can just slide them around the floor here. Yeah, I need to start making a list of jobs to do, so when I come out here, I got a list to figure out what I need to do next. But anyway, so that's where we stand. First update of 2023.